Hi, I'm Cody with Coldwater Creek RV, and today we're going to talk about why Coldwater is one of the most environmentally friendly RV parks in Texas. So Coldwater is surrounded on two sides by the Balcones Canyonland National Wildlife Refuge. This sanctuary was established to protect water quality in central Texas while also protecting the nesting grounds of the black-capped vireo and the endangered golden-cheeked warbler. The developer of Coldwater saw this land as a national treasure and made it his utmost priority to use environmentally friendly tactics when constructing the park. I mean, you really can't blame him. The first thing you notice when you come here is just how much nature there is. In every corner there's not an RV slip, you're gonna find a tree. Coldwater takes pride in having a record low environmental impact on this land, leaving 80% of its existing trees. They simply did this by putting less RV slips per unit of land. I mean, the typical RV park that you're gonna come across nowadays is gonna have at least 20 slips per acre. Coldwater only has 4. Not only have we preserved most of the nature in this park, we've also planted over 250 fruit trees and created a system to feed the fruit trees in a non-toxic way so the tenants have more edible fruit than they can even handle. Welcome to Haley Orchard, the first orchard to be placed in this park. Actually, this orchard was named after my camera lady right here. Let me get her in the frame real quick.
Oh.
This is where a developer first created the new method for using septic systems to feed the fruit trees. So in short, the usual way of doing a septic system to feed trees is called an aerobic system. Basically, they take the septic water and they push it through a treatment tank, and then they take that treated wastewater and they spray it onto all of the trees. And so that leaves a lot of toxic stuff still in that water that's being sprayed on the trees. And a lot of times you can't really eat that fruit. I mean, you could, but it's probably not a good idea. Now, that septic water does have a lot of good nutrients in it as well. So our developer used a new method to treat it at the roots instead of spraying it where that stuff becomes toxic again. Right behind me is where Coldwater gets its name, the creek of the park. And this brings us to the next topic I want to talk about, which is water purity and water runoff, one of the greatest concerns that Coldwater's developers had when constructing the park. So when it rains, it's actually a really, really big deal that developments and cities and RV parks make sure that the water doesn't run off too much onto the streets and on man-made or impervious surfaces into whatever the main body of water in that area is. When that water constantly is hitting those impervious surfaces, it is picking up oils and toxins that are then put into the body of water. This is why we see extremely polluted lakes, oceans, and pretty much everything else. Here at Coldwater, we use a runoff system that is 90% pervious, meaning 90% of that water that comes down from the rain is only going to touch natural surfaces. And instead of that water collecting toxins on impervious surfaces and going straight into the Colorado River, ours is absorbed into the land and goes straight to the source, the Edwards Aquifer. So these are just a few of the reasons that Coldwater is one of the most environmentally friendly RV parks in Texas. So that's all I got for y'all today. So until next time, thanks for tuning in.